Hey movie lovers, I'm Alan.
And I'm Oliver.
Welcome to Real Movie Grid.
Today we're going to review A Quiet Place.
So, Quiet Place. That's right.
That's
First off, it was absolutely an interesting experience being in the theater with no one talking and no sounds happening, for the most part.
Yeah, I'm used to no one talking in the movies, but you're right. No, having a very silent experience, even to include the music or the sound effects, for the most part, was pretty crazy.
It was. With that said, I'd say the highlight for me was one of the highlights for me was the audio. It had to be a character in this movie because no one was talking, and I thought they did a great job, so I rated them really highly.
Right on. For me, probably one of my favorite parts of the film was the casting. I think John Krasinski and Emily Blunt and the two kids. I thought they all played their part well. And considering that really there were only four of them throughout the whole film, they had to carry and they pulled through. So I think they did really good there. And considering that they were doing very little verbal talking, that almost all of their emotions had to come out from their physical acting, and I thought they did great there.
I really can't disagree with you. Pam probably is upset that Jim shacked up with someone else for the apocalypse. But, yeah, I mean, everyone really made you feel. Every emotion they felt, they were able to illustrate it without their words, which, we don't have very many examples of something like that.
Yeah, so probably maybe one of the weaker elements for me, in my opinion, was the design of the film. I didn't quite like the CGI that they used in some of the elements, namely like some of the horror moments. They used CGI, and I was like, I don't really know if I like this.
Yeah, I mean, Hitchcock preferred not to show the monster until the end. Because it builds more suspense, and that did kind of ruin it for me in those areas. And I have to say, I think the script on a whole was not great. The actors picked it up and carried the holes where the script was, but the screenplay was it didn't do it for me. It was the idea of being quiet was original. However, the rest of the script I don't think was very original.
Sure, and I think what you can give them credit for was that it was a commonly done movie. Like, it wasn't an original movie, but it was a refreshing take on that common theme. Like, it was like just like any other creature thriller, but it was done silently. So that was kind of cool.
Well put. One of the areas that we disagree on was the design. I thought the design was pretty awesome. I really like post-apocalyptic movies, and I actually gave this a horror movie / post-apocalyptic rating, and I thought they did a pretty good job with the seemingly low budget. They were in a pretty small area, and I thought they did decently there.
Right. So one of the reasons I downgraded it was because when I consider that the style of the movie was that post-apocalyptic context, I didn't really like the way that they looked. I feel like, given that they were only about a few months out from the whole world kind of falling apart, that they should have probably looked a little more disheveled. I feel like they had their stuff just too well put together. Their gear was too organized. They themselves looked like they were just going with the flow. No big deal that there's monsters around. As far as all the stuff that was just there that they had, and I don't know, it felt like all the stuff that they had took away from how bad the situation was.
Yes, there are times that that did come out. I mean, the example you used before was the bag. His bag was just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we've about covered it overall. I would say if you like post-apocalyptic movies, this it's not an action-packed one, but it still falls into that genre, so you probably like it. I don't know that the horror movie crowd would really be into this. it's not your typical horror movie. Though we said the script was unoriginal, it felt like it was from another genre.
Right. But hey, it was still fun. It was definitely, it lends itself towards an exciting ride if you're willing to accept it for being a new take on the same story.
Yeah, we both gave it grades in the C range, so it's not a waste of your time.
No, should be a good time.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, find us on Facebook and Twitter, and join in the comments below and let us know what you think on how we can improve the Real Movie Grade system.
What are you, an auctioneer? Hey, don't forget to watch the playlist to my left, What is Real Movie Grade? It's going to help you better understand the Real Movie Grade system.